So, hi guys, MMA UK News. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always, for the MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about SGI8, as we've been doing for the last few days. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit of feedback, Gordon, so I won't be a second. So, yeah, that's us. Feedback's gone. So, apologies for that. SGI8. SGI8 is going to be Saturday, the 9th of October. Doors open at 5 o'clock. First fight will be 5:45, starting off with the 8-man open weight tournament, the quarterfinals, and then moving into obviously the singles grappling matches. Now, going to headline, obviously, the last fight of the night is going to be the final of that 8-man tournament. Again, promises to be a fantastic event. Maryhill Community Halls, as I said, Gordon's been there before. Obviously, knows what the venue is like. It's a cracking venue for anybody that's never been at it. There's a few first timers on it this time, so as you guys are going to absolutely love it. As I say, great venue and great atmosphere. Now, tickets are only available through the Scottish grappling page Eventbrite. Now, as we've been saying, it's a council building, and the council have very, very strict rules in regards to track and trace. So make sure you do get your tickets from Eventbrite, because you will not be able to get tickets on the day at the door like we used to because of track and trace. So my guest today, obviously Gordon Price of Likens MNBJJ. Gordon is, again, I love watching Gordon. Gordon, as he puts 100% in every, whether he's doing grappling or MMA and things like that. So always 100%, very, very technical, trains with some absolute killers, some of the best guys in Scotland that he's training with. So he's going to be up against Ben Campbell, SBG Aberdeen. I believe he said he'd fought Ben Campbell before, I believe. So obviously this is a rematch a few years in the making. So Gordon, absolute pleasure to have you on, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Good to be here.
Nice. To be here. I'd say you're looking well. You're looking very, very well.
As I was saying, I don't feel like it. I feel like I'm falling to bits, but stuck together with sellotape, I think.
Definitely. And then what about you? Obviously back full. We're all back full-time training now. So I mean, how's training been going for yourself?
It was good. It was pretty much non-existent through COVID. My missus, she was pregnant, so we just didn't want to take any chances and everything, and played by the rules and all that. So I spent best part of a year, maybe closer to 18 months, not training. Well, I say no training, not doing jiu-jitsu, still like exercising and all that, but it's tedious. Finally started training again, and then I get injured and got over the injury, and then I broke my arm, and then got over that, and now I'm here. So it's been a pretty brutal couple of years, but I'm just over the moon to actually be back and training on the mat. There was a point where I genuinely thought it wasn't going to happen, but here we are. Yeah. And I absolutely love SGI. It's probably my favourite event to compete on, so I'm looking forward to it. Great wee venue as well.
And I see you've been there before, so the venue itself, as I said, very intimate venue as well. Obviously, the mat in the middle and the seats surrounding, obviously, the mat and stuff like that. And as I say, with it being an old building, obviously anybody that's shouting, it kind of echoes throughout the building. And then obviously you've got the DJ John McElroy kicking out some old classic trance tracks throughout the night as well.
Yeah. So, no, it's I love the venue. I do. I think it's brilliant. I know it doesn't take a massive crowd, but as you said, it's intimate, isn't it? And it's good. Enjoy it.
Yeah, it's definitely a great venue, and I'd say it's a great lineup as well. I'd say obviously the 8-man tournament. Do you get training much with Big Mark?
I haven't been. Just obviously he kind of burst on the scene, and I've been out with injuries and various other things. So only in the last maybe few weeks I've been able to train with him, and something else. Nobody, honestly, like, I'm not the best grappler in the world, right? But I hold my own against almost everyone I roll with, right? But Mark is something else. It's different. I'm really interested to see how he does in this 8-man tournament. Really interested, but yeah, I've the last couple of weeks I've been kind of drilling with him and got a couple of rolls in with him, and yeah, felt that power. Let's just say.
I know I'd spoke to Ed Ingemels just earlier today, and he was talking about, obviously, he said he'd heard about Mark, and then he heard there was this 120, 130 kilo world champion power lifter, and he was expecting him to be the kind of guy that would come in and just lie on top of people.
No,
but he said when he said,
sorry, on you go.
Well, I was going to say, he then said he watched a couple of videos of a couple of Mark's fights, and he was like, yeah, complete opposite what he thought, because obviously his movement, his technical ability and stuff like that for the size of guy he is just terrifying.
It's frightening. We were like rolling with him and everything. It's like obviously you're rolling with him, so you're not really like, you're not spectating. Do you know what I mean? You're not watching and seeing what he does and all that. You're more kind of like just dealing with what he does at that moment in time. But last week he was in Lycans and he was doing some single leg kind of setups.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, fucking hell, man. Like, how does he move? Like, he moves like a 65 kilo fighter, do you know what I mean? And I don't know what weight he is, but it's frightening. It's like, I couldn't really believe what I was watching, to be honest. Something else. Super excited to see how he gets on in the future.
Yeah. I think he's about 120. I'm sure he's about 120, 125 maybe. So to be moving the way he moves, yeah, it's just unbelievable.
Not natural.
Definitely not. And then we do have a question coming, Katie Hunter. So MMA UK's Katie Hunter. Gordon, do you prepare for a match any differently depending on the opponent?
Nah, I probably should. I'm not gonna lie, I probably should, but I don't care, to be honest. I don't care who it is. I just want to compete as much as I can, whenever I can. As I said, like I've been held back with injuries and stuff like that, and obviously COVID and all that for the last 2 years, and I'm absolutely scunnered with it, and I'm not getting any younger. My body ain't getting any better, so I want to do what I can when I can. But if anyone wants to compete, I'll quite happily throw my hat in and go for it. Whether that be jiu-jitsu, Thai boxing, MMA, boxing, like I honestly don't care. I love all of it. It's not just jiu-jitsu, do you know what I mean? I love all of it, and it's an opportunity. That's the way I look at it. It's an opportunity, but no, I probably should approach it a wee bit smarter. But for me, it's just another day.
Yeah,
another body.
And that's one. Yeah, I mean that's one thing I've noticed about you. Obviously, we've been kind of training over the years, over the last few years, and I mean, as you said there, you don't really care who it is. Do you know what I mean? Who you're standing in front of. I mean, if you're offered a fight against anybody, you'll take it regardless.
Yeah.
If you're fit and healthy, that is obviously.
Well, that's it. As long as my body's holding up, I'm happy to do whatever, because like it's competition at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? This isn't. I know, like obviously, folk like to make out as if it's like a fight to the death and all that, but it's literally just it's a competition. We do what we do every day in the gym. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not. I probably should, but I'm not changing up how I like compete because of who I'm competing against. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do what I do, irrespective of who it is who I'm going up against. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't just like if I'm going up against like a leg locker, for example, I can't just go, well, I'll spend the next 6 weeks learning how to do leg locks. Like it's not there's not enough time to do that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I try and be as well rounded as I possibly can. I try and cover all areas, if you like, so that when a name does come out the hat, I'm finding up against them. That's kind of how I do it. But probably the higher the level you get, the more you want to focus on the individual. But at the moment, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered.
Definitely. And then the fight at SGI, I know you've been on before, so how did you find out about this fight? How did it come about for you?
I saw James, he'd put up saying he was looking for, I think he'd 4 guys at that point for the tournament, the open weight hang, and he was still looking for folk, and I was just like, look, I'll do it. Like I don't mind. Like I was walking about 83 kilo at the time, so I would obviously I'm going to be undersized and all that, but again, it's an opportunity. Like, I just want to go in and compete. And he said he would get back to me, and that other folk kind of throwing their names in and all that, and he wasn't keen on me doing it because Mark was in it.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware Mark was in it at that moment, but I'm sure he would have no issue throwing me about. Do you know what I mean? If we get matched up, but he came back and he said Ben Campbell at 85 kilo, and I was like, sure,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how it came about.
And then what about Ben? Obviously, you know Ben. So what do you know about Ben recently in regards to any kind of things that he's doing at the moment, or does it not bother you? As
I
you
honestly
say,
don't know. I don't know. I don't really have social media. Like I've got Facebook, but all the other stuff, like I ended up deleting it all. Like I just couldn't be doing it. I don't have enough time in the day to be going through all that and searching folk and seeing what folk are doing and all that. I just focus on me. No, he seems like a nice enough guy, Ben. I've rode with him a couple of times over. Must have been about 4 years ago or something now.
yeah.
He beat me both. I think once it was in the gi, so that doesn't count because it's a gi. Do you know what I mean? Who rolls in a gi? And then the other one was no gi through in Edinburgh a few years ago, but he beat me. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Well, I was there. I mean, that's there. I remember there. I was there when obviously Shawnee was talking to you and stuff like that. Now, obviously you weren't well at that point. As you weren't well from earlier in the day, so you weren't 100%. Do you know what I mean? So whereas
I
now,
I wasn't 100%. That's for sure. I know he's technical. He's pretty strong. He's long and he's quite awkward, but. So what?
Listen, you're 100% or close to 100% now. So obviously this time is going to be a lot more different than what it was the last time. I'm sure. So
no, I'm looking forward to it. And the tournament kind of format, and like I don't know the rules. I can't keep up with the rules and everything. Like different tournaments and all that, and it's different rules, and you don't know if you're allowed to reap, or you're not allowed to reap, and it's just I much prefer these sub onlys where it's just like go in, do your thing, and be done with it kind of thing. So
yeah.
I'm not a points player.
Yeah. Mate, none of you Kelly guys are points players. So
what's a point? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is the point in points? I get it. Like, it gives you a kind of competitive architecture and gives you something to go on. But I would rather like just keep going until somebody quits. Even if you don't tap them, just break them. Like someone's going to quit eventually. I appreciate it in tournaments and all that. You don't have the time and all that and the freedom to do that. And I understand why we do it the way we do it. But yeah, I'm all about no time limit and just go. Go.
Yeah. I always love it. I come down to Kelly and I always make the same mistake every time turning up with a gi. And there's never any gi stuff going on.
What's a gi? My gi's been sitting in the water for about 6 years now.
Aye.
Last time I had it on.
So, but I always make that mistake. Turn up with a gi, and I've never ever seen anybody with a gi on. I think the only person that wears a gi is like Marcos when he turns up, but usually that's taken off, and then he's fucking rolling no gi as well. So, but yeah, listen, always tough rolls down in Kelly with you guys. So, and then going forward, then obviously we've got SGI then. So what's your plans then? I know you said you would take anything at any time, but have you got any kind of set visions for yourself or what you want to do going forward?
Yeah, I just want to stay as active as possible and no break. Like I've broken enough over the last few years. I'm just focusing on keeping my body kind of as healthy as it can be. At the end of the day, the sport is all about breaking each other down. So there is always going to be niggles, but like torn ligaments and broken bones and all that, I'm done with all of that. So I've been doing a lot of kind of physio and stuff like that over the last few months just to kind of maintain my body. I'm into this power grappling towards the end of October. So I put my name in for that. I think I'm up against Nathaniel Montgomery.
Yeah.
So again, another kind of familiar face. I've been up against him a few times now. So I've got that end of October, and I'm just itching to make my pro debut in the MMA scene. I wanted to do it before the end of the year, but with my arm just now, I still can't throw a punch with it. So I just need to wait and see kind of what happens. I can grapple absolutely fine at the moment. So I'm just going to try and stay as active as I possibly can with sub-onlys and that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know there's some MMA shows going to be coming up early next year, so you're looking at obviously your Evolution of Combats, on
Yeah.
tops, all coming up early next year. So obviously, the guys there, anybody looking for MMA guy, what weight do you fight MMA at?
77
Right,
kilo. Aye.
yeah. So any 77 kilo guys, Dan, if you're listening, Evolution of Combat, this is your man, Gordon
Give
Price.
us a shout.
Give him a shout. And then, Gordon, any last thing for you then? Anybody you want to shout out to? So, friends, family members, teammates, anything like that?
Yeah, I think I need to first and foremost give a big shout out to Aristos Physiotherapy, who they've pretty much kept me being able to train the last few months, without a doubt. Without them, I genuinely wouldn't be back training yet. There's just no way. So big shout out to them. If anybody's kind of struggling or anything like that, get in to see them. They're based in Stewarton, but no, top notch. And then obviously the guys, Marcus through MNBJJ in Glasgow, and then you've got the boys at Lycans. You've got Shawnee, Sharpie, Jack Brown, Joke Love. I mean, fucking hell, Joke. But that guy's an inspiration, I tell you.
Yeah.
No, he's been a big kind of factor in my game. There's no doubt about it. And then just all the other guys that are in, giving me the rounds. It's appreciated.
Definitely, definitely. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on, Gordon.
Well, it's good to
Looking
be here.
forward to it. Yeah, looking forward to it. So, Gordon Price, Likens, MNBJJ up against Ben Campbell of SBG Aberdeen, no gi. SGI8, Maryhill Community Hall, Saturday the 9th of October. I say get your tickets because you'll not get in if you do not have a ticket. So, Gordon, listen, absolute pleasure again. Listen, stay safe, train safe, buddy, and I'll see you on the 9th, all right?
Perfect, my man. I'll catch you later.
Take it easy, mate. Bye-bye.
Cheers, man.